Okay guys, welcome to this video where we are looking at fraction or fractions of an amount. Okay, so this is from the Maths Genie website. Okay, and it's looking at fraction of amounts. Okay, and it's appropriate for Key Stage 2, Key Stage 3 and GCSE Foundation, but the knowledge of this video will also be appropriate for GCSE higher tier maths as well. Okay, as ever guys, please feel free to go ahead and pause the video, attempt and try all the questions that you can do, and then come back and press play when you're ready, okay? And feel free to take notes for any question or questions you are unsure on how to do. Okay, this is question number 1, guys. It says find a sixth of 420. So this is what I call a fraction of an amount. Okay, what I do is I take the number and I divide it by the denominator. Okay, so I do 420 divided by 6. Okay, now 42 divided by 6 is 7, and then I'm going to put a 0 1 at the end. Okay, because it's 10 times bigger than 42. Okay, so I divide by the denominator and then times by the numerator. Now, because I've got a 1 on the top, okay, timesing by 1 doesn't actually change my answer, okay, but just for this first one, I'll put this times by 1 here, okay, but obviously timesing by 1 doesn't actually change my answer, okay. Question number 2, find a quarter of 44. Well, I do 44 divided by 4. Okay, I'm splitting 44 into 4 equal parts. 44 divided by 4, we should know, is 11. Okay, so we divide by the denominator and then times by the numerator. Remember that timesing by 1 doesn't actually change my answer. Okay. Question number 3, find 1/8 of 72. So I divide by the bottom times by the top. Okay, 72 divided by 8 is 9, and then we do 9 times 1, which is just 9. Okay, question number 4, find 1/5 of 60. Well, a fifth of something means dividing it into 5 parts, or 5 equal parts, we should say. 60 divided by 5 is 12, okay? And if you're ever unsure of any of these sums, then please do feel free to use the bus stop method to work out these divisions, okay? A third of 48, okay, question number 5, find a third of 48, okay, divide by the bottom, times by the top, okay, 48 divided by 3 is 16, guys, okay. Question number 6, work out 3/4 of 180. Well, I divide by the denominator times by the numerator. So I do 180 divided by 4. Okay, now dividing by 4 is the same as halving it and then halving it again. So half of 180 is 90, half of 90 is 45. Okay, but this time I've got a 3 on the top, so I've got to multiply it by 3, okay, because 45 gives me 1/4 of 180, but I want 3/4, so it's 3 lots of 45. 5 times 3 is 15, so 5 carry the 1. 4 or 40 times 3 is 120, okay, plus the 1 is 120. Sorry, it is 130, sorry. So the answer is 135. Okay. Okay, so just to be clear, guys, I divided by the denominator and then I times by the numerator. Okay, question number 7, work out 2/5 of 140. Well, I do 140, okay, divided by 5. Okay, so again, I'm not too sure what the answer is to this, but I can just use the bus stop method to the side here to work it out, okay? And there's never any harm, guys, in showing your full workings. If anything, I encourage you, okay, in any of my videos to where possible show your full workings. Okay, I always encourage to always show your full workings, because it shows the examiner that even if you don't get the full answer correct, they can see your workings out and say, okay, this is where the person made a mistake, okay, rather than just putting down any old number and just guessing what the answer is. Okay, it's using your initiative here and using your brain. So 5 into 1 I can't do. 5 into 14 go twice. Remainder 4. And then 5 into 40 go 8 times. So that gives me 28. Double 28. Okay, so times it by 2. So 28 times 2 is 56, guys. Okay, this is question number 8. Find 2/3 of 240. So again, divide by the bottom times by the top. So 240 divided by 3 is going to be 80, and then 80 times 2. Okay, so 80 times 2 is 160, guys. Okay. Question number 9, find 5/6 of 72. Again, divide by the denominator times by the numerator. 72 divided by 6 is 12. 12 multiplied by 5, okay, is 60, guys. Okay, is equal to 60 for that one. Question number 10, work out 3/7 of 56. Well, I divide by the denominator and then times by the numerator. So 56 divided by 7 is equal to 8. And then 8 lots of 3, or 8 times 3, is equal to 24, guys. For that one. Question number 11, Holly is thinking of a number. 3/4 of Holly's number is 39. Work out what Holly's thinking of. So this time I'm actually working a bit differently. So I'm doing 3/4 of an amount. So I'm doing 3/4 times x. Okay, so we'll call Holly's number x. That has to equal 39. Okay. So dividing both sides by 3/4, okay, is the same as multiplying by 4/3. Okay, so essentially what I'm doing this time is I'm dividing by the numerator timesing by the denominator, if that makes sense. Okay, so dividing both sides by 3/4, okay, is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal, which is 4/3. Okay, 39 divided by 3 is 13. 13 times 4 is 42. Okay, and we can check our answer. Oh no, hang on a second. 52, sorry. Okay, 1/4 of 52 is 13. 13 times 3 is 39. So that does confirm my answer. Okay, so this one is working a bit differently. So question 11, 12 and 13, it's working by the method of dividing by the numerator timesing by the denominator, whereas these ones we're looking at dividing by the denominator times by the numerator. So it's doing like the inverse process to what I was doing originally, okay, in these set of questions. Okay, 2/5 of a number is 18. Okay, number n. Okay, find the value of n. Okay, so I've got my equation here, dividing both sides by 2/5 to get n on its own. Remember that dividing by 2/5 is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal, so multiplying by 5/2. Okay, so I do 18 divided by 2, which is 9, times by 5, which is 45. So my answer to that is 45. 2/5 of 45 is indeed 18. 45, okay, divided by 5 is 9, times by 2 is equal to 18. Okay, next question. 5/6 of a number is 30. Find the number. So 5/6, okay, of the number x, we'll say, is equal to 30. Okay. Dividing both sides by 5/6, I get x is equal to 30 times 6/5. Okay, so I'm doing 30 divided by 5, which is 6, and then times by 6, which is going to be 36. Okay, question number 14. Work out the difference between 25 and 2/9. Sorry, 25 and 2/9 of 81. Well, 2/9 of 81, 81 divided by 9 is 9, times by 2 is going to be 18. So I'm going to have 25 take away 18, which gives me the answer of 7, guys. Okay, for that one. Okay, so 2/9 of 81, you divide by the bottom, times by the top. Okay, question number 15. Work out the difference between 3/8 of 32 and 2/5 of 40. Well, 3/8 of 32, so I divide by the denominator times by the numerator. 32 divided by 8 is 4, times by 3 is 12. Here I have 40 divided by 5 is 8, times by 2 is 16. The difference is going to be equal to 4. 16 take away 12 is equal to 4. Question number 16. Work out the difference between 20% of 90 and 3/7 of 49. So 3/7 of 49, guys. 49 divided by 7 is 7, times by 3 is 21. Okay, this one looking at percentage of amounts. Okay, to work out 20%, I've got to work out 10% of 90. So 10% of 90, okay, means dividing it by 10 is equal to 9. Therefore, 20% will be equal to double 9, which is equal to 18. 21 take away 18, okay, to work out the difference is equal to 3. Okay, so this is looking at percentage of amounts. Of course, you could have changed that into a fraction and said that that's same as saying 1/5. Okay, dividing it by 5. Okay, that would also have worked, but I thought I'd go with this method of percentage of amounts as well. Okay, but we will look at what I mean by percentage of amounts in a later video. Okay, this is question number 17. There are 924 people in a theatre. 383 of them are men, 356 of them are women, 2/5 of the children are boys. Work out how many girls there are. Well, if 2/5 of children are boys, that means 3/5 of them are going to be girls. Okay? Because 2/5 and 3/5 equal 1 whole. But the first thing to do is I'm going to add, okay, 383 plus 356. Now, doing this on my trusty calculator, I get the answer of 739. Okay, I'm now going to do, okay, 924 take away 739. Okay, for this one, to work out the number of people that are left. Okay, so the ones that are left will be children. Okay, so 924 take away that. So 924 take away 739 is 185. Okay, so 185 children are left. So 3/5 of that, okay, again, a fraction of an amount, 3/5 of 185, Okay, so I divide by the bottom times by the top. 185 divided by 5, which is 37, and then times it by 3 is 111. So there are 111 girls in the theatre. Okay, this is question number 18. The normal price of a computer game is £40. The price is reduced by 1/5 in a sale. Work out the price of the computer game in the sale. So I'm going to work out 1/5 of 40 and take it away from £40. Okay. So this is like a typical, like, real life type problem. If you're ever out shopping in like a city centre, yeah, you'll always see like 20% off, or a fifth off, or 50% off, or 40% off. Okay, so in this case, I do 40 divided by 5, which is 8. Okay, times by 1 is going to be 8. Okay, so 1/5 of 40 is £8. £40 take away £8 is £32, guys. Okay, remembering our pound symbol. Okay, and then I can put .00 if I want. Okay, or just £32. Question number 19. There are 1,100 students at a school. 540 students are girls, the rest are boys. 1/10 of the girls are left-handed. 1/8 of the boys are left-handed. Work out the number of left-handed students in the school. Okay, so 540 are girls. So 1/10 of 540 is 54. Okay, 540 divided by 10 is going to be 54. Okay, 1/8 of the boys. Well, 1,100. Okay, take away 540 gives me 560. Okay, which are boys. 1/8 of 560 is 70. Okay, because 56 divided by 8 is 7, and then add on the 0. Okay, adding these numbers together, 4 plus 0 is 4, 5 plus 7 is 12. Okay, or 2 carry the 1. Okay, so 124 students that are left-handed. Okay, for that question. Question number 20. Harry has 50 sweets. He gives 2/5 of the sweets to Sandra. So let's work this out first of all. 2/5 of 50. 50 divided by 5 is 10. Times by 2 is 20. So he gives 20 to Sandra. He gives 3/10 of the sweets to Jamie. So 3/10 of 50. 50 divided by 10 is 5. Times by 3 is 15. Harry keeps the rest of the sweets to himself. Work out how many sweets Harry keeps. Well, 20 plus 15 is going to be 35. Okay, so he keeps 15. Okay, because 50 take away 35. Okay, gives me 15. Okay. For that. Question number 21, guys. The normal price of a train ticket from Ashford to London is £34.20. Ross gets 1/3 of the price of his train ticket. Work out how much Ross pays. So I'm going to work out 1/3 of £34.20. So 1/3 of £34.20. Now I can do it by the bus stop method, or I'm going to use my trusty calculator here. Okay, so £34.20, okay, divided by 3, that's £11.40. Take that away from that, so £11.40. So he ends up paying, okay, £22.80. Okay, so 1/3 of £34.20 ends up being £11.40. Okay, so the answer to that is £11.40, and then I take off £11.40 from £34. Okay, £11.50 from £34.20 for that one. Question number 22, guys. Stan has an income of £2,000 a month. He spends 2/5 of his income on rent. He spends 3/20 of his income on bills. He spends 1/10 of his income on food. Stan saves the rest of his income. Work out how much Stan saves. Now, one way that I could do it is I could add up all the fractions, okay, and then the remainder of that fraction, okay, will tell me how much he saves, okay. So if I do 2/5, okay, plus 3/20 plus 1/10, okay, I get 13/20, okay, if I add them all up. Now 13/20, okay, plus 7/20 is 20/20, okay, which is equal to 1. So we're essentially going to work out what 7/20 of 2,000 is, okay, because that's how much of the fraction that is left over, okay. So 2,000 divided by 20, okay, so take off a 0, take off a 0, a half of 200 is going to be 100, and then times that by 7 is going to be 700, okay. So Stan saves £700 each month. So £1,300 is spent on his bills, his rent, and his food, okay, and what's left over is £700, okay, if that makes sense, okay. And again, this is important for like real world, like life problems, because this is what it's like when you start having a job or an income, essentially, okay. An income just means money that's coming in from like a job or a salary or something that he's doing, okay. So he is earning money through, okay, a job, okay, through like a paid job, okay, whether it's working for a company or working for himself, okay. And then obviously in real life, we as humans, we obviously pay rent for our property that we live in. So every house in the UK can obviously be rented or bought, okay. But most people in general, I think, across the country, I think actually rent more. Bills is what you pay, so like energy bills, like water, gas, electric, okay, stuff like that, internet, okay, etc, etc. And then food, obviously, is what we eat, so food and drink, okay. And then what's left over for him is £700, okay, after he deducts his expenses, okay. So these are what I call his, like, yeah, his essential life expense, okay. So these are things that a human needs, like in general, to live, essentially, okay. Right, guys, that's the end of today's video. So I sincerely hope you found it useful. I hope you found it informative. If you did, please press like. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, and lastly, please click that bell icon so you don't miss out on further videos and further uploads. Okay, but that's it from me today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you for the next one. Okay, bye for now.